scientific paper published by Springer Nature details the beginning stages of the honeybee's life. All honeybees begin their lives as eggs. They only remain in this stage for 2 to 3 days, and then they will finally emerge as larvae. During the larva stage, no matter if they're a future queen or future worker, all of the bees are exactly the same at this point. They are soft, they're fragile, and completely blind. They serve no purpose other than to eat and grow at this point. The larvae remain completely unaware of the changes that they will soon experience and how they will determine their futures. The Springer Nature chapter goes on to explain how the diet provided to the larva in this first week will determine its caste. It's a mystery how the bees pick a queen, but when they choose a larva to become a queen, it will be fed a little bit differently. The bees will build a much larger queen cell compared to the others and fill it with a relatively large quantity of royal jelly. Worker bees will be placed in one singular small wax honeycomb, like the honeycomb that you're probably familiar with. The diet of the worker larva is largely limited and often changes. The difference in the nutrients received between the queen and worker bees results in significant developmental changes and will determine their body shape, behavior, and their role in the hive. PLOS ONE published an interesting study on the neuroscience of honeybees. They found that the difference in nutrients not only changed larva's size and shape, but their entire brain development. Research found that the larva selected to be queen develop more active dopamine-related pathways, which influence their reproductive ability and their behavior. Another study from Europe PMC found that from the start, their nutrition and subsequent brain development determine whether a larva will become a queen or a worker. After 6 days of feeding, the larva will spin its cocoon and enter the pupal stage, marking the beginning of metamorphosis. According to the Springer Nature chapter, this is when the bees form their legs, wings, eyes, and organs and begin to take their adult form. The queen develops faster, while workers land somewhere in the middle, and drones take the longest. This is when we start to see major differences between the castes. The PLOS ONE study found that during pupation, queens and workers show very different patterns of brain development, especially in dopamine-related systems. These neurological differences help explain why queens develop reproductive abilities while workers develop other skills like nursing, foraging, or guarding the hive. The Europe PMC summary emphasizes that these brain differences are essential for maintaining the colony's social structure. Without them, the division of labor that keeps the hive functioning would collapse. So even though the pupa looks still from the outside, and they don't appear to be much, on average, 1/3 of the food on your plate depends on pollinators like bees, butterflies, and other insects. So while metamorphosis may seem insignificant, this transformation determines not only quantity of a bee's life, but ours as well. Quality of a bee's life and ours as well. After completing metamorphosis, the adult bee emerges from its cell. Springer Nature chapter outlines 3 castes and their roles. The queen emerges first at approximately day 16, since their accelerated development is essential for colony survival. Their main role is reproduction, and a healthy queen can lay up to 2,000 eggs per day. The neurological development described by the PLOS ONE study support her ability to oversee the colony using pheromones and to maintain reproductive dominance. Workers emerge around day 21. They make up the majority of the colony's population. Springer Nature research explains that workers perform sequence age-based tasks, starting with nursing larvae, cleaning hives, wax production, guarding the entrance, and foraging for nectar, pollen, water, and propolis. Drones, although having the most simple role, are the last to develop at approximately 24 days. Their sole purpose is to mate with queens from other colonies, and they do not forage or participate in hive maintenance, which explains why their neurological development is much simpler. It's not necessary for it to be any more complex. Together, through this three-tier caste system, queens, workers, and drones create their own fully functioning societies, which are similar to our own in many ways. Now that we've followed the honeybee from egg to adult and explored how diet, metamorphosis, and brain development shape each caste, we can see how this tiny insect's life is both delicate and complex. Let's tie these pieces together and reflect on what this life cycle reveals about the survival of the colony as a whole and what their survival means for us.